Hello, my name is Michelle O'Quinn, and we're going to discuss creating a positive footprint. So your footprint is imprints that follow behind you. So we want to make sure that when we're out in the Native community or any community, that we are presenting ourselves with a positive footprint. So in our agenda, we'll define networking, why networking is important, your image, and how to network. And so networking is basically how you're selling yourself. Whether you're at a powwow or at the grocery store, you're still creating an image about yourself. And so, and that image is creating a footprint in the minds of people that you come in contact with. So we're going to look into how do you create a positive footprint while you're consciously or unconsciously networking and networking or building with other people. So again, my name is Michelle O'Quinn. I'm the job developer here for SCARE. And so some of the services that I offer here at SCARE are job readiness services, resume assistance, job leads, mock interviews. So with job readiness, we go over your personal time management. We try to find spaces within your time where you can possibly obtain a job or work on skills so that you can obtain a better job. So you want to make sure that you have a job that's providing you a livable wage. And so the livable wage for California is pretty high. I believe it's $21 to $22 an hour just to maintain a livable wage for one person. That's not including children. And then with, well, the price of gas is going down, so that's a plus, but the price of housing is still rising without control. So I know that some participants have looked into time management to fit in another job or maybe a gig job. A gig job or jobs like Uber, Uber Eats, Instacart. They even have like InstaJobs. And with that app, you can actually find jobs to do like the next day between a certain period of time. So you can pick and choose which kind of jobs that you want. So that's another one, InstaJobs. And then I think Indeed has like Indeed gigs because we're seeing a demand for that where people have their full-time job and then they'll pick up a gig job in between. Also with job readiness, we update your email if need be and try to make it more appealing to the professional world. And then we update your digital footprint. And in your digital footprint, we're looking at your social media, trying to Google yourself, look at what posts are not private on your Facebook. We're looking at your Instagram. I'm not looking at it. I'm having my participants look at it. And then also I have my participants look for themselves on YouTube. Surprisingly, I've had a couple of participants actually find video of themselves on Instagram. I mean, sorry, videos of themselves on YouTube. So when we do resume assistance, we try to figure out what kind of resume you need. So you have like a chronological, functional, combination resume, and then there's also the targeted resume. So the chronological resume is listing your work history from the most recent to your very first. A functional resume highlights the skills related to the desired job that you're applying for. And then a combination resume is it combines both like listing your job history, but then it's also geared towards the job that you're applying for. And then a targeted resume is a resume that's created for that particular job. So that means that you went on Indeed, you saw what they were looking for that position, and then you created your resume based off of that job posting. So when it comes to landing that interview, it can be nerve-wracking. Before I came to Scare, I have worked at my previous job for 20 years. So I did not need to create a resume. I had no need to interview. However, I sat on the other side of the table where I was constantly interviewing other people. And I had hired most of my staff for the program that I worked for. We had 180 employees, and I hired most of them. So it's very different sitting on the opposite side of the table where you know what you're looking for specifically in an employee, and what kind of work environment that you have currently, and basically what kind of vibe you're looking for when you're bringing someone into your work environment, because we spend more time at work than we do realistically at home. When we're at home, we're not really mentally present. We're either preparing for the next day, or we're trying to finish out the current day, which is the baths, the dinners, and getting everybody ready for bed and preparing your clothes for the next day. Laundry and grocery shopping and all those things aside. So, when employers are looking for an employee, like making sure that they're a good fit for their work environment is important. So what I offer at Scare is mock interviews. So it's interview coaching on your appearance, your verbal communication, and then your body language. That's important because a lot of times we don't know what others are interpreting by our body language, because our body language is usually in autopilot because we're not paying attention to it. Also in the mock interview, you're getting a one-on-one interview. Also, we can offer a panel interview. I know some places like Head Start, they'll have a panel interview where there'll be like a parent, administration, and then the supervisor on the panel to interview the person that's applying for Head Start. And then also after your mock interview, we give you feedback, tell you maybe you could have switched up this answer a certain way so that it can be articulated much better, things like that. So what is networking? It's the exchange of information or services among individuals, groups, and institutions. So it's not just swapping a business card. So we'll go into what networking is and when you're networking, because a lot of times we're creating network, within our social group, and we don't even know it. We're sharing our interests and what we know about certain subjects or certain interest areas that may offer career opportunities, and may not even know it. And at the same time, employers are looking, just as you are looking for a job, there's employers looking for people to employ. So when you have that common interest, or you have a friend who knows you, and says, hey, I have a friend who has this common interest, I think they might be a good fit for your company. That there is networking. Your friend networked for you. So it's not necessarily you handing out your business card, or it's your reputation that has followed you, your footprint that has landed you an opportunity, a new career opportunity. So again, this is going into what networking really looks like. And this goes into also your footprint that I've been talking about. when you're discussing and you're sharing your shared interests at family gatherings, that's also networking. So when you're putting your best foot forward, you're speaking intellectually, you know what you're talking about, you're being open, you're being receptive, you're putting forth, you know, good manners, and you're being courteous, and you see what I'm saying? Those are soft skills that people see, to where if they know someone that's hiring, you know, those are your impressions, your footprints that you've left behind on other people. Also, discovering resources at a community street fair or any kind of community event. There's not only vendors there, but there's other career resources there. And a lot of times those nonprofits, they'll be looking for people to hire as well. So that's also an opportunity. Not that you went to the street fair to go find a job, but sometimes it just happens. Attending events with other professionals. So again, if you are part of social groups that are on Facebook or Instagram, you can find professional events that might be going on in your area, and that's a good way to meet new people in that profession that can offer you tips, or you know, who's hiring, or you know, what would be a good fit for you, or you know, or even like what workshops to take to help you get your foot in the door. So professional networking can take place in unprofessional settings, and then you can connect with other people in the same profession, same interests as you on social media platforms. 85% of jobs are found through friends and associates. So it's just like, imagine you handing your friend your resume, and your friend just hand delivers your resume to the boss. And so your resume is on top because it came from a, someone else that works at that company. And here's another thing too, is that if your friend has a positive footprint themselves, then that determines whether or not that resume goes to the top of the pile or to the bottom of the pile. Because your boss is going to say, okay, well, I don't know if you are the people that you are around. You are the company that you keep. So if your friend is a good employee, then most likely that resume is going to go to the top of the pile. But if your friend isn't a good employee, then most likely that resume will go either to the bottom of the pile or in the trash. So again, you are the company that you keep. So also too, when a friend is saying, you know, my job is hiring, I can give them your resume. Okay, so just figure out if they're a good employee as to whether or not you want them to hand deliver your resume, or if you want to submit your resume yourself. So before you start handing out resumes, you need to update your email, make sure that your messages work. I can't even count how many times I've called people for an interview and their mailbox is full on their cell phone. So, or it's not even set up. So it's like, you're a grown adult. Why is your mailbox not set up on your cell phone? And you need to look at all your social media apps, you know, your Facebook handle, your Twitter, your Instagram. Yes, we do. We look for you on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Anybody that I deal with, that I would, before I even decided to go with them, as far as like an interview, I always looked for them on social media just to see what kind of person I am going to be meeting at this interview. Make sure that your cell phone is working, and then that your address is correct. Also look at your Google Photos, any kind of image sharing site. Video hosting, again, like I said, I had participants look for themselves on YouTube, also community blogs, WordPress. Employers do look at those things. We want to know what you're writing about. What are you passionate about? Are you going to be a good fit for the company? You know, are you one of those who are on the front line? You know, like, so yeah, we do look at all those outlets. Negative digital footprints, they do have an effect on whether or not you can even land an interview. So inappropriate photographs or information, photos of drinking, using drugs, supporting drug use, negative comments about other people, poor written communication skills, discriminatory comments related to race, religion, and gender. So a positive digital imprint is can help you out because your personality fits the current company culture, your background information supports your professional qualifications for the job, your friends list mirror a professional network, your public interests are well-rounded, and you demonstrate consistently great communication. So like communicating is an effort, it's kind of natural. Networking and career development. So networking can help you meet new people at different levels in your field. It provides opportunities to share ideas and ultimately boosts your professional confidence and contributes to your social well-being. And then you'll find that, let's say that you go to things that have to do with plumbing. You'll find that you'll see the same people at those events, or you'll find that there's a circle of the same people that are in that field. And so it becomes easier, you know, to network with people, or like, let's say that, you know, right now the plumbing company that you work for, they don't have any work, you just need work for one day, then here it is, you can call your friend that you met, you know, through another plumber, and then he's able to give you day work. You know, things work like that. So, or let's say that you have vacation time, you know, at your preschool where you work, and then you can just take a vacation day because you want to go help out at another preschool for the day. So you get to double dip on your pay. Meeting new people of different levels in your field can expose you to a wider variety of job opportunities. You can create connections to get your foot in the door to bigger companies. That's important because, like, when you're, for example, let's say nursing, you know, it's really hard to get into the hospital, but if you know someone, it's easier to get your foot in the door. And then, you know, the sky's the limit as far as how high you go, you know, in nursing. It's the same thing like if you're trying to work within the civilian portion of the military base, like it's basically like you need to know someone in order to get your foot in the door. Because you can go on governmentjobs.com and, you know, sometimes they'll give you a call back and sometimes they won't. But if you know someone, most likely they'll give you a call back. It offers opportunities for mentorship and career development. And a lot of times if an employer takes the time to mentor you, they'll offer you a job. Sharing ideas, to hear about creative ideas implemented at other companies, get different perspectives on your ideas, and then making connections outside of your company is a valuable asset. And so this is like when you're working for, especially like a big company, a lot of times they get set in their ways and they'll say, Like they've always done it this way. They've always done it this way. But as time evolves, like so do the way that you do things kind of needs to evolve. Um, and companies need to grow as the times grow. So a lot of times for me, I used to love hiring people that were fresh out of college. And I would go back and forth with my boss because she she preferred experience where I was more open to new and creative ideas, and that's what I was looking for when I hired new employees. Because if we hired people that have been doing the same thing over and over and over again, we've seen that already, and that it was time to look for something new. So that's why I always like went for I always tend to lean towards those who were fresh on for their new ideas and new perspectives. So what if you're shy? If you're a shy person, and I'm kind of that way, just depends on what kind of environment I'm in. But just start small. Like you don't have to go to a big shindig, to network. You can start small. Also bring a friend. Um, that it makes things more comfortable. The more that you go to these professional events, the more comfortable you get. And then also too, like just focus on your shared interests. So you guys are all there at this networking event for a reason. So just focus on the shared interest because the shared interest is already there. You don't have to find it. It's there. And then networking, it offers opportunities. Go network like a pro. I mean, just offers opportunities to network everywhere, and then and most importantly, work on your body language. So to review, networking or how we present ourselves is our footprint. It follows us everywhere. How we carry ourselves, how we speak, how we dress, what we're passionate about. All those things are part of our networking, and it's the impression that we leave behind. So in this, we define networking, why networking is important, your image, what is it, what is the impression that you're leaving behind, and then how to network. And thank you for your time. And my name is Michelle O'Quinn.